This is Rukia Writer, who has been trying to write her perfect book yet always saying she's a bad writer, and because of that she never got to finish any book, and now she hates her life.
So that is basically how some of us live our lives, right? And the topic for this video is the root of words and how it affects your life, right? And the reason I want to read exactly from, where I jotted everything down is so that I do not leave anything out at all. And there's no need pretending like I'm not looking at my screen. So why don't I just put the screen here? Anyways, let's get straight to the video. So what I exactly want to help you people with in this video is that I want you to understand how your words control your life. We are made to feel like our words and our life are two separate beings, but I want you to understand that they are one. If you read the book of Genesis and you pay attention to the creation story of God, you will see that his words were correlating with his creation. There was no time he said any word carelessly if his intent was not to create with the word that he said, right? So the mission of this video you're watching is that by the end of this video, I want you to be more conscious and I want you to actively use your words for your benefits, right? So it's going to be a very short video, right? Because I want you to be able to, if I say right again, suspend me. So I want you to be able to implement the things that I'll say in this video. So it might be 2 or 3 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes. I don't know. So let's get straight to it. I've said that before. No, but for real, let's get straight to it. Okay, so the first thing I want us to understand before we begin to list the bullet point and then the assignment, and if you implement this, I tell you that there's no need for me to blah blah blah. It will work so well for you. One thing I want you to understand is that at the beginning of the video where we saw the lady that was, trying to write her book and at the same time she was using her words to tear it out. Maybe she didn't say anything at that point of the video, but the story behind that aspect is that she wanted to write a book, right? But she always said passively that I know that I'm not good enough. I'll never write this book. Maybe when she was in like having a conversation with her friends, where she was like, they were like, maybe they could call her, oh, your book would be the best in the world. And then she's like, I can't be that. Like, I'm just me. Like, who will ever read my book? She said that jokingly, but after that conversation, she went back to her room to write the book again. Isn't that funny? So I want us to understand that when you're trying to build a thing, never crush it down with your words. Never crush it down with your words. You could watch this video and be like, am I even sure that I would implement this? What a joke I am. Or what a joke. Yeah. How would I ever do this? Like me of every other person, me, like how? So I had to go and put off the alarm. Basically, we are going to be looking at a few bullet points, and if you implement these bullet points correctly, I tell you that it's going to take you to a whole new level, right? So the first bullet point here is inspect your intake. The first bullet point is inspect, because I put the bullet point in such a way that you're consciously doing something and you're actively doing something. Because remember the mission statement of this video, which is the fact that I want you to be more conscious and actively use your words to benefit you, right? So I made sure that the bullet point had these two things together so that they could produce the benefit that you need. So the first bullet point is inspect your intake and create an intake. So the conscious aspect there is inspecting your intake. So for myself, I'm like a magnet. So I easily absorb the things that I listen to. So I'm very careful about the kind of movies I watch, the kind of music I listen to, because you will hear certain language or vocabulary or words from my mouth that you are not familiar with me using because of the kind of things I associate myself with. So because of that, I'm very careful. I do not condemn anything, right? But certain things should be condemned. So so you have to inspect your intake, inspect the kind of movies you watch, inspect the kind of things you listen to, because whatever you spend time with becomes you. Whatever you spend time with becomes you. So inspect your intake, be very constructive about your intake, decide the intake that you want to take, and create an intake. So after you've inspected the current intake that you have, or you are inspecting the kind of things you listen to, consciously create an intake, right? Create the kind of things that you want to consume. I have certain YouTube channels that I watch. I have certain podcasts that I listen to. I have certain things that I look at on Pinterest so that I can create, so that I can, create the kind of intake that I want. So when you inspect your intake and you create an intake, then you create a benefit for yourself. Then number two is you have to know what kind of creation you want to make. So in understanding what kind of creation you want to make, that is the conscious part. You have to surround yourself by your creation. So I know that, okay, the kind of creation I want to make is an academy that, supersedes any academy that has come before it. Let me check if this is still recording. Okay, it is. You have to I so in because I know the kind of because I know what I want to create, which is the best academy in the whole wide world, I have to surround myself by my creation. Maybe it could be me taking a job in an academy to see how it's done. It could be me watching videos of those people that have, created the best academy in the world. It could be anything related to what I want to do. So because I have a mind in my because I have like a mental picture of what I want to create, I will begin to consciously surround myself by my creation. So this is number two. And then number three, excuse me, number three is you have to correct the mistake. So if you shabbishly or mistakenly say a word that you know is not permitted in your vocabulary, I want to put up the AC. Yeah, I just want to be moving. So if you mistakenly say a word that you're not supposed to say, correct the word. Like, don't say, oh, I'm just joking. That's the second part. So the first one is correct the mistake. The second part is don't joke mistakes. Don't joke mistakes. Like, some people just say you're stupid. In that present situation, I say, no, I'm not. And they're like, oh, why are you so serious? I don't know. Right? Because I want you to understand this. There's no play with words. When you say a word, there's no play. Like, there's no play with words. There's a scripture that says that when you say something before an angel, don't tell the angel that you were playing, da 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 da. There's no play with words. I'll put the scripture on the screen so you can read it. Okay. So it's like a doctor saying that it's like a doctor putting knife inside the body of a patient and they're asking him, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just playing. It doesn't make sense. Same as you saying that you're just playing with your words. It doesn't even make any sense. And you might be like, oh, that's such a big difference. It's not. It's just how you see it. Because you see that your words are not that valuable enough, or you believe that they don't create, doesn't mean that they don't create. So the it's better for you that you understand the power that your words hold, and you begin to use it for your own benefit. And then I feel like I should stay on that a little bit more, because if you begin to playfully throw out words and people notice that you playfully throw out these words on yourself, they will playfully throw it on you too. Like, if you always call yourself stupid in front of people, don't get surprised when they tell you that you're the most foolish human being that they have ever met. Why? Because they are familiar with you using those particular words on yourself. No one can see me and call me stupid. Excuse me, because I know some of you online can be funny and then you write, oh, stupid in the comment section. But I believe that you're pure people, right? So no one can see me, people around me can see me and call me stupid or foolish. Why? I don't use the words on them, neither do they see me use it on myself. Do you get? So all those kind of things. And then the last one now is vocabulary update. So you have to update your vocabulary. You have to become more familiar with loving words. If you don't use loving words on yourself, then if it relates to your business, which is what the whole video is focused on, but we'll get to that later on. So if it relates to your business, you could use like massive words. There's a video that I'm going to be dropping, and the name of the video is called Your Words Shaping Your Thought. After this video, go and watch that one, because then I will show you how to implement this into your business. Here, I'm just showing like the mental effect and the creation capacity of your words and everything. So the last one is vocabulary update. I already said that, but just to recap, vocabulary update. So vocabulary update is where you consciously change your vocabulary. This is a conscious and an active, activity. So I don't need to separate it, right? So vocabulary updates is where you consciously create a new vocabulary for yourself. So listen to maybe other people that talk. You could listen to public speakers. You could listen to other people that you love the way that they talk to themselves. Maybe people that do self help on Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform. YouTube, YouTube especially. I always recommend YouTube, please. YouTube. Yeah, because people tend to have a certain brand and personality that they want to maintain on YouTube. So you see like the more professional form of them here. So, and then the last thing we have in this video is your assignment. So, the assignment that I have for you here is to get 10 positive new words and begin to use them on yourself. Yes, why? Because I could say on your business, but your business is a reflection of who you are. I tell you, do not miss this next video that is your words shaping your thoughts. Even the do not just miss it. Do not miss it. I was about to start giving you some sauce in it, but don't just miss it. That's all I would just say, right? And this will be all for this particular video. And I want to say thank you if you watched up to this point. Like, subscribe, comment, do as much as you believe that you can to support the growth of this channel. And yeah, that will be all for this particular video. See you in our next video and make sure you watch the video that I asked you to watch. Bye for now.